What's going on, guys? Welcome to a very special video here on the channel. My name is Jack, and joining me today for the first time we have the whole crew involved. We got Andrew and Jesse joining me here for our very first Q&A video. How you guys doing?
Good. I'm doing great. Yeah.
Alright, awesome. Glad to have everyone together finally. I mean, you know, we've all been here now for a couple months. We all got really settled in with the changes to the channel. And it's good to kind of start making content with all three of us. And it's interesting to see where this goes. This is going to kind of be like a soft launch for a podcast we want to do. And we're really looking for your feedback on this one. We're not sure if we want to do this as like a live streamed podcast and upload the VOD after the fact. Or would you guys rather see like an edited version that's just uploaded straight to YouTube? So we're looking for a lot of feedback on that. We're willing to do whatever, but this is kind of just going to be like a beginning episode of that. And
trial
as I said,
run.
Yeah, trial run of sorts. And as I said, this is going to be a Q&A. So we collected questions from you guys over the course of the week, and we are just going to, I guess, get right into it. And this one is for Andrew. It's from Why So Serious Eric. Which comic would you like to see adapted into a movie or TV show?
Now, this is actually a really good question. And yeah, Why So Serious Eric? I know this guy very personally. He's a good friend. And I know why he asked me this. But if I had to, I would do something a little outside the spectrum. I'd go with the DC's Spectre. Which is just, it's a really dark comic book. I mean, he has a lot of really dark moments, but you get a lot of really like deep-seated like character development in that. But I would think I wouldn't want to see it as a movie. Let's do it as like a TV show. Give it almost a Jessica Jones feel, kind of that kind of direction, or a little bit more towards a little bit more of a sci-fi feel than the rest of the DC TV shows.
All right, that sounds pretty dope. I mean, I'm not super big on comics. I mean, there are a couple of them that I've actually really enjoyed. I think one that would be really cool, and it's just because I remember Donald Glover talked about this in his comedy special, but I would really like to see the Black Spider-Man comics be adapted into like an animated TV show or something like that, or a movie even. Just because there was that whole thing like a year ago with Donald Glover when people thought he was going to be the new Spider-Man, and obviously Donald Glover kills in everything, so that would just be perfect in my opinion.
So dope. Like,
that would have been fucking dope. A rebooted Spider-Man with Donald Glover.
Okay.
Yeah, I would be all about that.
So since you guys are talking about that, just so you know, there is this year a Spider-Man animated movie as Miles Morales Spider-Man is the main character in it coming out.
That's right.
And Donald Glover is involved.
Yes. Okay. There we go. So I mean, my hopes have been fulfilled. Yeah. I mean, other than that, I think most of the really good comic book stuff has already been adapted really well. I don't know. I don't really have any much else to ask for, really.
Well, I got a little bit of a spin-off answer on here because I don't read comics. You know, it's not really my forte, but I am excited to see this Black Widow solo movie. And I really hope that it's going to be adapted from Marvel wrote a book on Black Widow called Forever Red like 2 years ago. And that book was fucking incredible, so I hope the adaptation's on Forever Red because it was a great little spin-off story from Black Widow's past, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was kind of like Black Widow's origin story. I remember I read it too because Jesse recommended it.
It wasn't an origin story necessarily because it's kind of like a mirror origin story because there's another kind of Black Widow, a younger Black Widow type of thing.
That's
and they're
right.
kind of like going through it together type of deal. It's really good.
Yeah. I actually read it as well. It's actually really good. And Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff as a whole is an amazing character.
Yeah, she gets overshadowed, but I'm excited to see what they do with this.
Yeah, she don't got superpowers, so they give up on her. No, she's a bad biatch.
Same.
Oh, for sure. I guess I will throw this one in there. It's not comics, but I do read a fair amount more books than I do comics. And Andy Weir just released his follow-up novel after The Martian called Artemis. And I've already listened to it like 3 times on Audible, and I actually think that the story in Artemis, it might be pound for pound better than the story in The Martian, with just as much of like the quirky style of Andy Weir's writing that makes The Martian so enjoyable.
It's a bold statement.
It is a bold statement because if you know me or Jesse really well, we fucking love The Martian. Like with an absolute passion. I've listened to The Martian audiobook on Audible like 17 times at least.
Same.
And I think Artemis has something really special as being like a much more fulfilling story, and some of the topics they talk about in the book, I don't want to spoil anything, is absolutely fantastic. So if you like The Martian at all, this is just throwing it out there. Artemis is fantastic. So I mean, I would love to see that as a movie. It's probably gonna happen because The Martian was so successful. So who knows?
Oh yeah.
So moving on here, we got the next question. This is another comic book related one from Steelboy0688. What are your thoughts on New Mutants being moved to February 22nd, 2019, and Deadpool being moved to May 18th, 2018? Obviously with that Deadpool stuff that came out recently.
Yeah. So I mean, there's two ways to look at this one. It's Deadpool, yay.
Yeah.
And a totally new look at superhero movies, going with the horror genre superhero movie, which is New Mutants. I mean, yeah, it's going to be amazing, but I mean, hey, we haven't got all that much into it yet. We can wait a little bit longer. Just give me Deadpool a little earlier.
Yeah, dude, give me that Ryan Reynolds. I want it. I want it now. I mean, after that Bob Ross cameo trailer, that's it. That's all I need to see.
Slap it off. Slap it off right there.
Dude,
just whack it on off. Whack it on off.
There's never been short of Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, I don't think an actor has ever been more made to play a role than Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. So Deadpool 2, I'm all about it. I want it as soon as possible.
I second that. I second that.
He's born
I'm
to
gonna
play.
keep my hype in the pocket for Deadpool, just because the first one was so incredible that I'm a little nervous that they might drop the ball on the second one. But I know that Andrew Reynolds is like on top of this, and he really wants to, do right by the character. But that New Mutants trailer, I mean, a whole new look. I thought that was a straight horror movie, and then all of a sudden it was like about mutants, and I was like, oh my god, it's a New Mutants trailer.
Yeah, dude. Like, okay,
incredible.
Let's talk about that for 1 second. So that New Mutants trailer, the girl with the long blonde hair?
Yeah.
That is Magic. That's Colossus's little sister.
No.
Yeah, and she's all arcane badass, dude.
I like how there's not very much like information in the trailer, like who the characters are, or what's going on. It's just kind of like this horror feel. I like that a lot.
I will say, I think that there was one movie, it came out, I guess it's close to 10 years ago now, that kind of had that superhero kind of horror look to it. It's a movie called Chronicle. It's like that found footage style.
Oh my
and
god,
I fucking love this movie.
That
Chronicle
movie
is
the shit out of me.
Yeah, that movie, it's a thriller. It's got really good drama. I think the actors in Chronicle are fucking amazing. And
well,
this
the
is
way
a really
they use the
movie.
found footage in that movie is incredible.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah, incredible use
The final scenes of Chronicle, when they're having the final fight, if you haven't seen this movie, hunt it down. It's fucking fantastic.
Dude.
With the cuts between the people's phones.
Mind.
Yeah. No, that's an incredible movie. So we've seen what kind of like this horror thriller superhero movies could look like.
I don't know if I would call that a superhero movie though.
Well, I mean, they're
superpowers.
Yeah, I mean they're superpowered, but it's not like mutants. It's not an established realm where superpowers exist.
And they're kind of frowned upon and sought after and witch hunted.
Yeah. Still, that's what it made me think of, and I love any chance to talk about Chronicle. It's a really great movie.
So, there you go.
It's a great movie.
All right.
So moving on, we got from Anthony Knight. Where's the one place? Oh, okay, we're changing this up all the way. We're kind of changing subjects entirely, but whatever. Anthony Knight asks, "Where's the one place you'd like to travel to, and why?"
Ooh.
Okay. Well, personal here,
go
right?
Yeah,
I would say. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, me personally, I would go Ireland. I've always wanted to go to Dublin. I've always wanted to go all over Europe, but Ireland's always been like one of my top spots.
All right.
I can respect that.
I think for me, I want to go to the Nordic side of the world. I want to go to like Sweden and Norway, just because all of the cool technology stuff that's going on there. And then for me, as a big fan of pro Counter-Strike, obviously I'm a big Ninjas in Pajamas fanboy. So Sweden, that's where they grew up. And Sweden has such an awesome esports scene, and gaming is so big there. I would love to go to Sweden.
Oh, come on, guys. The answer is Japan. Okay, there you go. I did it for you. The answer is Japan.
All right, man.
Going to Japan. I actually really want to go to Japan.
Yeah, Japan would be pretty dope.
Why would Japan be above everywhere else, though?
You just got 2 words for you. Actually, 3 words. The Last Samurai. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, dude, don't even start there. Let's not start Jesse on The Last Samurai. We'll be here all fucking week, dog. That's a fucking great movie.
That is the second best Tom Cruise role.
Oh, wow.
The
first fighting words right there.
Hold on. The first
Top Gun? What are you gonna go?
No. The first best Tom Cruise role of all time is when he played Les Grossman from Tropic Thunder.
Oh, yep. Fair enough.
Such a funny meme of him.
Dude, that movie's so
with
good.
Big over-eyes, sized hands.
I will fuck you in the street.
And
Can't believe they got
also,
him a cameo.
I think that's Robert Downey Jr.'s most underrated movie, personally. I don't think Robert Downey Jr. gets enough love for how good he is in that movie.
I agree.
Okay.
But I mean, controversial topic.
Yeah, The Last Samurai, man. Fantastic. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I would like to go to Japan too. I think there's a lot of cool stuff in Japan. Obviously, it's like the same thing. It's really good, like, technology-centric. A lot of cool stuff there with gaming and everything like that. And then obviously, anime is pretty cool. So I mean, I can't deny that's a factor.
Yeah.
Imagine this: if you went to Japan, you could watch Dragon Ball live.
Oh, that's right. Just don't bring a camera. Don't bring a camera. We don't need any more people.
I don't think it has subtitles though.
Damn.
Some guy just walks out with a little subtitle card.
Yeah. I can infer by context.
There you go. Yeah, you don't have to translate the 15 minutes of screaming every episode, so I think you're good. Well, that's getting turned down in post.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I guess that sums it up. I mean, Ireland's pretty dope too. Obviously, Irish blood in the family, so I'd like to go there. I just want to travel, dude. I just want to get to the point where I'm successful enough that I can just take the liberty just to go places. So that'd be generally, I just want to go places. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Yeah. Alright, so we got, from Comic Book Fan 1992, we got a couple of questions here. And I kind of want to start, yep, that's Edgar, shout out to Edgar. I want to start with this third question just because it's not comic book or movie related for once. Could you guys do more game reviews? And the answer is absolutely yes. In fact,
yes.
Me and Jesse have some reviews coming down the pike. It's been the holiday season. Been a little bit busy. We're playing a lot of games right now, and I'm also working on more videos kind of as we speak. But the short answer, yes, 100% yes. Game reviews are coming, and they're going to be great.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I got more planned too.
Yeah. Okay. So Edgar also asks, what are your guys' thoughts on the Battle Angle trailer? Now, I actually didn't see this trailer, so I don't really know much about it. I don't really have any input.
The Battle Angel trailer is freaking epic. Okay, this trailer, when you see it at first, you're kind of like tripping out, and it almost feels like a Ghost in the Shell, almost mixed with like a crazy live action anime kind of look. But the trailer looks freaking phenomenal, dude. I saw it and my jaw hit the floor. I was like, what the hell am I watching right now? This is crazy.
Wow,
definitely.
Oh, yeah, James Cameron, I'm there.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting a look at this trailer right now. It's kind of freaky.
It is very freaky, dude.
Yeah, kind of freaky. I'm digging it.
Coming out.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Rodriguez, I'm in on that.
Springtime is a weird time for movies because it feels like there's always like this weird spike in like horror and thriller movies following the holidays for some reason. Like, is that something I've noticed over the years?
Well,
and dude, I'm so tired.
Are usually pretty bad months.
I'm pretty tired of seeing all these Insidious trailers on YouTube because they always scare the shit out of me. And I'm like, why can't I skip these? So I'm just looking for that movie to get out of my way. So yeah, I mean, dude. I'll check out the trailer when we're done, but I mean, it sounds pretty interesting. James Cameron obviously does great work all the time, so I mean, I'd be down.
Yep. Yeah. It's very, very cool.
Alright, so we got 2 more questions from Edgar. Will you ever watch the Dragon Ball Super anime? Come on, man, I want to know your thoughts. So Andrew, he's asking if you're going to review it, dog.
Yes, I will when I have time, but like Jack said, we've had a lot going on and holidays, and then I was sick for like over a month, so when I get time, I will get to it, I promise you.
We'll say Dragon Ball Super looks pretty interesting, but I don't know, part of me is like, feels like the original Dragon Ball was so sacred to my childhood that I don't know if I could touch any kind of like alternate series, you know?
Let me chime in on that, okay? Because I am someone that loves GT. Like,
Dragon Ball GT is pretty dope.
Yeah, I know, but Dragon Ball GT is not canon now that Super came out.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, because basically there is no such thing as Super Saiyan 4. Now it's Super Saiyan God and Blue and Crazy shit.
That sounds a little weird.
Rip, dude. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah. I'm like, really? 4. I was like, what happened to Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4, Gogeta rocking on some Omega Shenron?
Same.
Yeah, those are still the best storylines.
You can't take that shit away. Baby Vegeta is like one of my favorite characters.
See, I'll tell you one thing's for sure, we watched Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball and everything, right? So going through just all of the Dragon Ball Z, where it was just like these super long, sweeping journeys, like when they fought Cell, and then he's fighting with Vegeta, then we go through the Buu Chronicle shit. Like after all of that, I was so burnt out on Dragon Ball Z that I just don't want to see anymore. You know, like that's it, I can't do anymore. You guys are already too badass. Like you can't go anywhere else from here. And I saw some of the newer shit, but it just doesn't work for me. I think I'm too nostalgic about the old stuff.
Yeah, I will say the Cell Saga might be, I think, arguably one of the best chunks of anime. Period. And I know those serious fighting words, but I'll throw it out.
Gohan, and to see Gohan in like his final form, that was like, that was legit. Yeah.
Now, see, I call bullshit on that.
Whoa,
during the Cell games, if you remember, they said that Gohan is stronger than Goku will ever be. So that means if Gohan kept pushing his ass like his dad did, he can go Super Saiyan Magenta and shit. He can go all kinds of crazy colors.
Yeah, but we weren't there yet.
Super Saiyan 45.
Super Saiyan 47, 74, 93. God.
Yeah, I thought it was so cool that when they went into the hyperbolic chamber and they came out and they were like resting as Super Saiyans, I thought that was
cool.
Yeah. And Dragon Ball Z Kai, I thought, had a really good, soft reboot of all that for kind of updating all the art style and all that. And that was my last experience with that, was watching Dragon Ball Z Kai. So
yeah.
I mean, I might give Dragon Ball Super a try eventually, but I don't know, just too much nostalgia, I guess. All right, so last question from Edgar is, what do you want to see from MCU X-Men Reboot movies? We all know it's going to happen, but what do you want to see from that?
Oh, let me go.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Yes, yet the classroom recognizes Jesse.
Okay, I really want to see X-23 keep going. I really want to see that. It's kind of like a New Mutants type of feel with them going across the border and shit. I really want to see what happens after Logan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Logan took place way in the future, though. So how do we bring X-23 back in time?
No, I'm willing to leave everybody in the dust just for X-23. I'm willing for that to happen.
Okay, well, I'm right there with you because in the comics, Wolverine just came back to life, but he was dead for a few years. And when he died, X-23 took on the mantle of Wolverine.
Yeah.
And she became the new Wolverine. And Laura Kinney as Wolverine is one of the baddest characters I've read in comics in a long time. I mean, just the struggles she goes through are way different than Logan ever was. And I want to see X-23 as well. But I really would honestly like to see a good, solid, solid reboot. If they're gonna reboot fucking everybody. You can keep Deadpool and everyone else you have established in that part of the X-Men universe, because that's the Deadpool universe, and he makes fun of the time changes.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I want to see an X-Men reboot, a legit from scratch X-Men, more Wolverine, more Xavier, and everything else. I just don't really know if I want to see it.
I think it's so played out, honestly. I think that's why Logan was so fantastic, is that it really felt one, it totally broke the mold for what we thought of with DC comic book movies, where it was so raw, so real. It had this No Country for Old Men, just this super raw vibe about it. And then at the end of it, it felt like a real moving on moment where we've played with these characters for so long. These characters are so iconic, but just like real life, things move on. And I want to see the X-Men universe move on. I want to see Deadpool go on past this. I want to see, X-23. I want to see what happens in this universe past all this. I think at this point, they're probably going to reboot X-Men to a certain extent just because it's going to make money. But from a personal fan indulgence perspective, I want to see them keep moving forward.
Aren't they doing Dark Phoenix with the girl from Game of Thrones?
Yeah, Sophie Turner.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean, you're gonna get another Dark Phoenix movie, and after that, I really don't want to see any more like of the base X-Men.
Well, here's the thing that Disney knows that the biggest X-Men out there is Wolverine. They've already talked about how they want to hurry up and reboot Wolverine.
Yeah.
And if they do that, they got to reboot Storm. They got to reboot all these other motherfuckers. Because who are you going to say, oh, look, it's not Hugh Jackman. Hey, Wolverine. Hi, fucking Halle Berry Storm. Yeah, you don't know who the fuck I am.
Yeah,
I guess that does bring up another question. Who's gonna play Wolverine better than Hugh Jackman? I think he's so synonymous with the character at this point.
No, okay, now there was an answer for that because Wolverine is a short little bastard and not as tall as Hugh Jackman, not like 6'3".
Yeah.
So the main backup was Tom Hardy, but now that the MCU,
I can see Tom Hardy.
But now that the MCU and Spider-Man's universe and the X-Men universe are all going to be in one, Tom Hardy's already playing Venom, so he can't play Wolverine.
I'm excited for Tom Hardy Venom.
Oh my god, it looks so epic.
Yeah,
Tom Hardy, anything, I'm there. He's such a great actor.
The only thing that sucks is like we don't get God, who's the kid playing Spider-Man?
Oh, you don't get to see Tom Holland?
Yeah, Tom Holland can't be in that because he's part of the MCU, and the MCU won't let him have it.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna. Well, no, he can still be part of it because it's still Sony. It's in the shared universe.
Yeah, but I heard that because Marvel owns Tom Holland too, that they weren't going to let him outside of the MCU, and if it's a Venom movie, it's outside of the MCU.
No, it's still a Sony production in the universe. Yeah, Sony still. Okay, Sony still owns Spider-Man and all his characters.
Uh-huh.
They made a deal to allow Spider-Man to start appearing in MCU movies and let Marvel help produce their movies. But they still own the license to the character. They still own everything. Marvel owns merchandising and all the other crap, but they don't own the rights to the character.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I actually,
it says it right here in this article. Tom Holland himself says he can't be anything outside of the MCU. And the Venom movie is going to be outside of the MCU.
That's so lame. What a waste.
This might be a Spider-Man-less Venom movie, like without a Spider-Man altogether.
Oh, it's supposed to be all together, yeah.
Yeah,
that could be interesting.
Which is kind of lame. It could be
kind of cool, but I love Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
he's so good as Spider-Man.
Well, okay, at least we're not going to have a Venom that's Topher Grayson.
Who picked that guy?
We don't got to deal with freaking Eric from that 70s show. Jesus Christ.
That was the worst choice of all time.
So, I guess speaking of the Venom movie, Mr. Geek, aka Incredible Greek, asks, what do you guys hope to see from the Venom movie, and how much are you excited to see it? And based on the last 2 minutes of conversation, I would say right away, yes, we are excited to see it.
Oh, you say Tom Hardy as Venom, I'm there, 100%. I'm in the bag for that.
Dude, Tom Hardy killed it in, he was in Mad Max Fury Road, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mad Max Fury Road was so good. As much as like a very simple movie, it's executed so well. And Tom Hardy's great in that movie as the lead character that any kind of action movie with Tom Hardy automatically has the potential to be really great. And I mean, I think Venom's going to be incredible. I'm there.
Oh, yeah. In there.
I mean,
100%.
If we had to have it our way, obviously Tom Holland, Spider-Man involved in the Venom movie, that would be great to see, but obviously not going to happen.
Or even just like an after credit scene.
Oh yeah, some kind of teaser. That would be nice. Yeah, I mean,
or at the end of the Venom movie, they should have Jim Carrey roll on screen as Carnage.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm not even in front. I would like to see a Jim Carrey Riddler movie.
Oh my god,
Jim Carrey's Riddler, super underrated.
I know that
a lot of people don't like him, but I loved it.
But like, he was so good in that.
He was so good. He was ridiculously good.
Yeah, the movie was trash, but he was the best character in that damn movie.
100%. His like transformation, I love that scene.
Oh yeah,
he's just right there, and as a person where his brand of being wild and crazy is both simultaneously psychotic and evil, and funny and laughable at the same time. It just depends on the mood. So like, you could put him in anything as like someone who's a little off base as a villain, and he'd be an incredible villain. I think he has more than the capacity to do it.
Now, if we did something nowadays, it wouldn't work as well because he doesn't snort cocaine anymore. So, I mean, he was so much better because he did all that cocaine before he went on screen.
Yeah, now he just sits in big rooms and paints nowadays.
All day long.
All day long. He's the new Bob Ross. There we go.
Hell yeah.
He just needs to put a camera in that room, and there you go.
Whack it off, baby. Whack it off.
Yep. All right, so moving on, we got a couple questions from John and Quinn, and the first one, speaking of reboots, because everything's got to be rebooted, do you think Flashpoint will be kind of a soft reboot for the DCEU? Again,
Okay.
don't know much about Flashpoint.
Hard reboot is what it's going to be.
It's going to be a hard reboot. It's not going to be soft anything. They're going to change the whole dark and dreary fucking tone.
Right. The only person who's staying is Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think, is Jason Momoa staying or no?
Maybe Jason Momoa will stay because a lot of people like him. But I mean, Affleck's out. Ezra Miller's he's got to be in it because he's Flash.
Yeah, he's the one resetting time.
Yeah, but it's going to be a hard reboot. Like, the whole universe is going to be different.
Yes.
I think it'll be a big change.
Yeah, you understand what Flashpoint's going to do, right?
Not really. I'll have to go look up some information about it afterwards. I've been too involved with shit recently, like in the news.
Well, all you got to do is check out. There's an animated film, DC animated film called Flashpoint Paradox.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Yeah, Flash goes back. He gets pissed off one night.
Like Flash shit, yeah.
Yeah, goes back, saves his mom's life, resets everything where he never became the Flash. Bruce Wayne's mom and dad weren't killed that night. Bruce was. His mom became the Joker. His dad became Batman.
Yeah, his dad becomes Batman, right? And like, holy shit, and he's
with
fighting his
guns
wife
and kills everyone.
Yeah, I heard that's one of the best properties.
And so when they do that, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is going to be Batman. Negan will be Batman.
We're ready. We're in there.
And yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
All right. Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. No. I'm there. I'm 100% there. Okay. Moving. Go ahead.
No, and that Batman is ruthless as hell.
Yeah, he does not. He kills everybody.
Kind of like trenchcoat Batfleck in the flashbacks when he starts gunning everybody down.
The worst part is, I really thought that Ben Affleck had some serious potential as Batman, and I was really excited to see him write and direct his own Batman, and then he just let everybody down.
Fucking sad Fleck strikes again, man.
Yep.
God. Affleck was bombing Phantoms, bro.
Yeah, I mean, God, it's not your fault. It's just not your fault.
It's not your fault.
Yep. You played yourself, DC. You played yourself. Alright, so we got another question from John Quinn, and this one I'm actually really interested to tear into. Do you think games focus too much on multiplayer nowadays? And
you might want to throw a disclaimer up there. Like, we only play multiplayer games.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Disclaimer: I spend most of my days playing multiplayer games, but also I don't think so. I think that the most popular games and the games that get the most traction on YouTube and Twitch are always going to be multiplayer games because it's more interactive. There's more interesting things going on. But there are plenty of amazing, fantastic single-player games getting released not only this year but were released last year. I mean, when we had the Game Awards just a little while ago, look up this trailer because there's this game Witchfire that is going to be coming out in 2018. And the trailer, the style of this game looks so dope. I mean, I guess just to summarize briefly, it's from the developers of The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, which was this really cool walking simulator single-player game. And the visuals are going to be really on point. The game looks fucking great. And it's also from the developers who made Bulletstorm and a couple other really fast-paced, like, run and guns type games. And this looks like it's going to be like this weird, like, kind of Dark Souls, like, FPS mix and mash. It just looks dope. And it's a single-player game. There are plenty of very awesome single-player and co-op games being released all the time. And I think it's just because of how much YouTube and Twitch is very catering to multiplayer that it can seem that way.
Straight statistics, right? I mean, like,
it's statistics.
You have a single-player game, you play through the campaign and you're done. You have a multiplayer game, you can play for hours and hours and hours. And that's always going to be like that. AAA titles are very rarely going to be single-player games because you're only going to be playing that game for like a maximum of like 20 hours. Where
and then you're going to trade it in
5,000 hours,
Yeah, I would say below the AAA level, there are some absolute
there's always
gems.
Great indie titles,
I mean, look at it this way. At the Game Awards, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice won like 6 or 7 different awards, and it was made by a studio of 10 people. And it's legitimately one of the best looking, best shot, well voice acted experiences in gaming. I don't care what anybody says. This game's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, look at like Five Nights at Freddy's. That was just like a totally indie game, and it just blew the fuck up. And that shit's great. All the entries have been very good. I mean, I'm most excited for The Last of Us 2 to come out.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of good single player games out there, but it's always going to be majority multiplayer.
Yeah, I think that just is better for the longevity. So, I mean, I guess yes and no would be my overall answer for that. I think it just depends on your preference, whether you think that or not.
You know, one more thing. I think games like Until Dawn, games where your choices matter and you can play through multiple times and have different choices, I think those games will be coming more often because they have more replay value.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
All right, so we got the last question from Mr. Quinn. What is the most anticipated movie and game of 2018 from all of us? I guess I'll throw it out there right away. Movie, I don't know. I mean, definitely, we get the Han Solo movie this year. It's going to be pretty exciting. I'm definitely down for that. And for game, Witchfire is very much on my radar, and I think Destiny 2, like we were talking about in our recent Destiny 2 review, go check it out, link in the description. Got a plug. I think Destiny 2 is going to have a fantastic year for 2018, so even though it's already released, that is the game I'm heavily anticipating getting better. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Deadpool 2 obviously very much high on my list. Go. So yeah, I mean, what do you guys think?
Go ahead, Jesse.
Okay, I got an oddball one here for you. I know the franchise kind of gone downhill, but I'm really excited to see the new Maze Runner movie that comes out the day after my birthday this year, The Death Cure. Jesse. So I'm excited for that. I know everybody hates it, but I love it, so I'm excited to see it.
And your game?
And my game, I'm going to lean toward Destiny 2. I really want to see it succeed.
Yeah. I want to throw in one thing about the Maze Runner, and I remember back in high school, a couple years back, I read all of the Maze Runner books, and the books were fantastic. The books have a lot of potential. I actually think the
books are kind of poorly written. I think the story is great, but the fact, like some of the dialogue and stuff, is just like atrocious.
Yeah, it's been a long time, so I don't remember it too well, and it might be different in an audiobook experience. But I do remember the books being quite good, so I think the story potential is there. I've only seen bits and pieces of the first Maze Runner, so I mean, I'm willing to give it a shot.
All right. So my movies, I got 3 of them that are gonna tie for me. I can't choose. I'm sorry. It's gonna be Black Panther, Infinity War, Avengers: Infinity War, and Deadpool 2.
Black Panther is gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah, Black Panther is gonna be sick. Oh my god, I cannot wait for that movie. And then for my game, it's actually gonna be Dragon Ball Fighters.
Oh, Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yeah. It comes out the 26th, but the beta starts tonight at midnight.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see. I know the last Dragon Ball game they released a year or two ago was pretty good, pretty well received.
Yeah, was it Xenoverse 2?
Yeah, I think it was Xenoverse 2.
Yeah, but this one's the first one that's going to be leveled up there on the MLG level. This is going to be a professionally designed fighting game for the professional circuit.
Dude, Sonic Fox will dominate.
Sonic Fox already is dominating. There's all kinds of videos on the YouTube.
I'm shocked.
I'm gonna shit on that guy.
Oh man, dude! The challenge has been laid. Let's see an exhibition match. Let's get it ready.
Sonic Fox, bring it on. Email me, bro. Come at me.
At me on Twitter, dog.
What's your PayPal, dog?
I would say, I think that's kind of, with the whole growth of esports in the last couple of years, I think that's one of those things that's going to gain more attention. I think fighting games is really underrated in terms of its, like...
super easy to watch.
Super easy to watch. It's entertaining as fuck. Yeah. Like, some of those Mortal Kombat tournaments are insanely fun to watch.
Yeah, I love watching Sonic Fox destroy everyone at my favorite game that I'll kill him at. Challenge again.
Damn.
It's Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I see him rock everyone with Groot, and I'm going to destroy him. Don't trip.
He's insane.
All right, so, yeah. Okay, so moving on. We got Adic the One ask, have you guys ever visited any country ever outside the U.S.? I'm going to sound pretty sheltered, but I've never left California, so...
I've been out of California one time.
So now you're out of the country.
Yeah, I've been all over the U.S. I've been to 47 states. But the only country I've ever been to outside the U.S. is Mexico. I went down to TJ and I got lost for like 4 hours trying to buy tequila when I was like 18. Yeah, it was
Just
it was pretty
liberty.
interesting. Dude,
Bro,
I
that was a
got
good
lost and like this guy was running down the street chasing me with pouring black water on my windshield while I'm trying to find a cop to tell me where to get back to the freeway because I don't read Spanish.
That's pretty good. That's a
Oh
hell
my
of a story.
God.
Okay, yeah, no, I mean that's like we were talking about earlier. I just want to travel because of that and never really gone anywhere. Let's hopefully, maybe like 5-10 years from now it'll be something that'll be really good to do.
There you go.
Moving on, Adic actually asks a repeat question, which is which country would you like to visit the most? We've already pretty much answered that pretty fully, so yeah. So moving on, he also asks every game console you have ever owned. All right.
Damn.
Ooh, this is a tough one. Jess, you're gonna have to help me from the very early on, because I know we had a couple consoles when I was super
So we're
young.
brothers, right? So this is like a dual list.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I'm gonna start with an Atari. I had an Atari.
We had
we had an Atari too. Okay.
Tight.
We've had like every kind of Game Boy into the Nintendo DS.
Oh yeah, all those. Yeah.
Sega Genesis.
We had a Sega Genesis.
What about the Game Gear, the handheld Sega?
I
No.
don't think so.
Didn't
I
we
had that. I
have,
used to play Sonic.
Our parents weren't really into letting us have games, but we did have a couple of consoles, like hand-me-downs from other friends of the family and stuff. So we had like a Sega Genesis. I know our basically like our great grandmother, or like I don't know how to explain what she is, but she's like a friend of the family. She had an N64. We used to go stay at her house all the time.
Tight.
64. What else? Xbox, the original Xbox,
Didn't we have the original PlayStation 2?
the original PlayStation, and the PlayStation 2.
And an Xbox
GameCube?
360. I don't think we had a GameCube.
No GameCube.
No
The
GameCube.
Wii, the first Wii.
Dude, the Wii, I will say, the Wii was pretty janky at times, but Super Mario Galaxy on the Wii is actually pretty high up on my list for one of the best games I've ever played. And that game's like over 10 years old now.
Well,
Oh, hell
PlayStation
yeah.
2 was the shit, man.
Wait, PlayStation 2,
Oh,
where's
dude.
that?
Hell yeah, PlayStation 2.
Dude, NBA Street, ooh.
NBA Street was the best game
Dude,
ever.
Yeah.
he's on fire.
Dude, that game was over the top in the best way possible.
Dude, can we go
He's
back?
heating up.
Damn, dude.
And then we always had like a PC, so Jack was playing PC back in the day. And then
Well,
what
I
else?
started playing.
StarCraft.
We didn't play many PC games until
You used to play
Justin
Counter-Strike.
Justin
Yeah,
started me
Counter-Strike.
playing PC games about.
Well, we had a potato for a PC, so we couldn't run
Yeah.
much.
I started playing PC games right about the time I started middle school, which is about 6-7 years ago. And the first game I ever played on PC was this little free-to-play, like, janky first-person shooter called Repulse. And Repulse was dope. That was my first legitimate first-person shooter multiplayer gaming experience. That game was awesome. It had, like, this cool Call of Duty vibe. It had, like, all the advanced movement that we're pretty used to nowadays, like jetpacks and shit, and, like, a zombie mode. It was a really dope game. Sniping on it was really cool. And that was my first exposure into PC gaming, and that was what kind of got me hooked. And, eventually, all those years later, I started building PCs. And so, Repulse is my first real PC game experience. And so I love that game. Justin loves it even more than I do, our other brother. So, yeah.
I didn't even get into gaming until 3 years ago. My fiance bought me a PlayStation 4 for my birthday. Shout out to her. She hates it now. But started
Worst
gaming on
decision she ever
PlayStation
made.
4. Then I bought an Xbox 360 to play like Black Ops 2 and all the CODs because I was going through like trying out all the games and stuff. And
Dude,
then I
legit.
built my own PC, and
Yeah.
then I got an Xbone as well. So those are the consoles I have.
When
Tight.
Jesse first got into gaming and he played Destiny 1, that was the first
was
time he
my
ever
game.
played a shooter. And dude, watching him learn how to play a shooter was so fun because he had no idea what he was doing. And eventually, he used to play Destiny like 8 hours plus straight.
Yeah, as soon as
Wait,
I
if
got
he
off
wasn't
work, just
working.
all the way. Yeah,
Yeah, he was on the real
Boom.
grind, and he got hooked hard.
Yeah,
top
so
50 in the
me-
world. That's all I gotta say.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah, he's a legend.
So,
dude, 100%.
That's what's up. Fuck yeah. No, but like mine, like okay, console wise, I had I had Nintendo, I had Super Nintendo, I had the Super Scope, dog. I used to buy all the stuff. Like
Super Scope.
dude, I had the Super Scope, I had the Power Glove.
Oh,
I had-
no, not the
the-
Power
yeah.
Glove.
Not the
I still have my Power Glove.
Oh, dude, the meme is evil. You need to put that on a shelf. Display.
I got it's in storage. It's with my collectibles in storage.
Damn.
But so no, I had all those all the way up. I mean, when I wanted a console, I wasn't given it after I was like 12, and then after that, my mom was like, "Start mowing lawns for all the neighbors." So I mowed lawns for everyone in the neighborhood, and I started buying my own stuff.
Yeah,
so
the grind, dude. Gotta respect it.
Yep.
I will say one other thing. I love the Nintendo, like all the Nintendo handhelds. That's my childhood right there in a sense, with the Nintendo handhelds and the Wii. All the Pokemon games. I want to do this as a Let's Play eventually. Now I got emulators running on the channel. The Mystery Dungeon series, like the spin-off for Pokemon.
Yes.
Mystery Dungeons Explores the Sky might be legitimately one of the best hidden gems in gaming history. I'll write it down right now. And I honestly, I'm eventually going to play that game on the channel. So that game's fantastic. But that's like all the Nintendo shit's just so big for my childhood. I love playing that. I think that answers that pretty completely. Moving on here, Dante Dodson asks, what were your favorite movies of 2017? We're going to be here a while.
Do we want to just do like a top 5? That way we're not here all week.
I'm just going to do my top. Let's just do a top 3. Let's narrow it down.
Okay, top 3.
Okay.
I got mine already. I got Thor Ragnarok, Logan,
all right,
and Split.
Ooh, Split. That's a good one.
Yes.
I need a minute to kind of get it all together in my mind, Jesse. You got one?
Okay. I'll go right here. I got a couple of surprise picks in here. I'm gonna go Logan, Dunkirk, Blade Runner 2049, and then honorable mention Last Jedi.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. I think I'm going to have the most out there pick out of all of you guys, because I don't think anyone really gave this movie enough credit. One of my absolute favorite movies of this last year, The Dark Tower.
Wow.
Yes.
Odd pick.
Odd pick.
I enjoyed it personally, but it has got a lot of vitriol.
It's got a lot of vitriol. I think the way you got to look at this movie is that if you were expecting a word for word, like a perfect adaptation of the first book, the first Gunslinger book.
It's not of the first book, it's of the first 3 books.
Of the first 3 books. If you're looking for a perfect adaptation, I don't think you were going to get it. I don't think there's enough time. They would have to split that up into several movies to adequately represent all of the great content that's in those books.
That would have to be like a 7-movie set for 3 damn books.
Really, it would.
I agree.
And I think
it's
for
ridiculous.
When I look at it in its own little bubble as its own movie, kind of putting aside the books for a second, I think you have a really, really solid movie. I mean, Idris Elba, I think, kills it as the gunslinger.
Dude, I love Idris Elba.
Idris Elba is so great. He's fantastic.
He's epic, dude. In that, he is the perfect gunslinger.
He really is. He's a perfect gunslinger. I think Matthew McConaughey as a villain, people kind of hated on his performance.
I don't know. I felt like he was phoning that one in a little bit.
Maybe a little bit, but I liked it.
I almost saw the phone in his hand.
All right.
No, at times he was good.
I will say
he did
the thing. Okay, good.
No, at times he was good, but he didn't have any depth to his character.
True. Yeah. Oh, I'll give you that one. I will say the thing that sold me on The Dark Tower as one of my favorite movies, in the final act of the movie, the big action set piece with Idris Elba inside the club going towards the teleporter, that scene is absolutely one of my favorite 5-minute action sequence in movies. I really like that scene in the final fight before he fights Matthew McConaughey. I think that set piece is fantastic. Because it's got all the cool shots, like Idris Elba doing the fast reloads. It's got
the fast reloads are the coolest part.
Him mowing down a bunch of dudes. It has that great Saving Private Ryan sniper shot through the scope. That I'm there with all that shit. Okay, Idris Elba is just badass, and Idris Elba doing badass things is good for me. So my other 2 movies, I gotta throw Last Jedi up there. I think Last Jedi is unfairly hated on. I think Last Jedi is fantastic. I think it's better than Episode 7. I think it's better than Rogue One, and I love Rogue One. I think out of those 3, I think Episode 7 is actually kind of the weakest of those 3, and I think The Last Jedi is fantastic.
All right. Well, hey. We friends, but damn.
Hey man, I'm just gonna call it how I see it. I think Episode 7 is a great movie. I think it's a little weak.
Rogue One is the weakest, but damn, Episode 7 is not is not worse than episode 8. Come on, episode 7 was better than episode 8.
No, I don't think so.
I put it on the same level personally.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I can honestly,
similar.
yeah, I can honestly see it either way. Just for my preference, I think episode 8, I want to see it more often than I would episode 7.
I want to give a shout out real quick to Get Out, because I didn't see Get Out, but I hear it's fucking incredible. So
that movie changed me, bro.
And Jordan Peele's a man, so
yeah, that fucking movie changed how I look at a lot of things nowadays. That
That's a good
movie
thing.
fucking it stays with you. It's a fucked up movie.
Yeah, I will say, I guess just to kind of close off, my third movie, I would have to say Dunkirk. Just because I love history. I'm a big history buff. I love a lot of the World War I history and the World War II history. And I thought Dunkirk is a haunting and real representation of what those soldiers had to go through. Can you imagine that? Almost 400,000 dudes on 2 miles of beach with the German army just plowing in on them. That is a terrifying situation.
More Tom
Hardy. And like we have some of the most iconic moments from World War II in terms of history are around the Dunkirk saga. Obviously, Churchill's big speech he gave was about Dunkirk, and it's a great movie. It's not a movie I would pop in at any point and watch because it's kind of heavy. It's very heavy.
It's super heavy.
It's hard to
deny movie though.
Yeah, it's hard to deny how great it is.
It's hard to follow, so I think a second watch is required.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Great. To get everything, to understand where everything came from, you definitely have to see it a couple times.
Yeah, and I think it really captured what it would feel like to be there for sure. Like from a tone perspective, I think they nailed it. So yeah, Dunkirk for sure is on that list. All right, so moving on, we're getting pretty deep into the questions here. Got quite a few more to go through actually. So we're gonna kind of try
through a couple of these.
Yeah, let's try and speed things up a little bit. So we got Hyper Hero Man. He's got a couple of questions. The first one will be, will the Thanos chapter make a comeback in the Infinity War? He cites the Spidey Super Stories number 39. That's pretty deep in the comic books. So
he's talking to the Thanos copter in the comics. Thanos flew
Thanos
a
copter.
Little helicopter. He flew a little helicopter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
For real. That's what he did. He flew his little helicopter and he just like looked down on the heroes. It was ridiculous.
Dude, all these questions.
I don't think it's coming back.
Dude, he's trolling hardcore. He's asking about Superman's supercar, the spider buggy. Yep. He's asking how you feel about super vehicles. So, I mean, Andrew, how do you feel about super vehicles?
So, Hyper Hero Man is actually the manager of the local comic book shop here in my town.
Okay.
I know. So that's why you're getting all the crazy cars. So, bro, yeah, I'm not sure if any of them are going to come back. That's awesome, though. The Thanos copter just makes me laugh. and the spider buggy making an appearance in Justice League would definitely not make it a better film.
Hawkeye have like a hover bike?
He does.
Oh my god! Where do they go?
Jesus.
They take some time and they enjoy some herbal refreshments and then they come up with ideas.
Yeah, I mean, come on, everyone. If you haven't seen, if you don't know who H Bomber Guy is on YouTube, he did a really great video about the comics industry that talked about a lot of that stuff, like the weird references and shit. H Bomber Guy is fantastic. I love that guy. Okay, so here's an actual question from Hyper Hero Man. What are our thoughts on the future of Marvel's Netflix series? He hasn't seen The Punisher yet, and he wants to know how was it. I have seen a little bit of The Punisher. It looks really good, and I think that Marvel has been generally really successful with these Netflix originals. So I think they're going to keep on doing them, obviously.
I heard The Punisher was a little slow. I haven't seen it myself. I'm not a big fan of the Marvel Netflix shows, but that's just like a personal thing. Just because it's separate from the MCU, and that kind of like, just kind of throws off my immersion a little bit. So that's why I don't watch them. But I heard Punisher's good, but it's a little slow at the beginning, the first 4 or 5 episodes.
All right, so this is kind of my Jimmy Jam right here. So the Marvel Netflix shows, I enjoy every one of them. Like you go back from Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist. Daredevil was tight. And then that was how Punisher got introduced. The new Punisher series is good, but yes, there is some slow times, but that's because you're dealing with Frank's PTSD, remembering his family, flashing back, keeping you wrapped up and what's still going on. I do have high faith that these shows will continue to be awesome, but the difference is by next year, they will no longer be Netflix shows. They will be on Disney's downloadable freaking Netflix style app that they're going to be releasing next year.
Okay, interesting. It'll be interesting to see where that goes then. So we got one more question from Hyper Hero Man. Instead of Universal doing its Dark Universe movie line, this is another troll question. How cool would it have been if someone had done a series of movies based on that one comic book series, Ash versus Freddy versus Jason? Okay, I actually heard about that. Jesus, come on, guys. There's already like 5 Freddy v Jasons. I don't think we need another one.
Yeah, for real. But no, I mean, hey, he said, I'd buy that for $1. Yeah, I'll buy it for $1. Yeah,
I'd buy anything for $1. I'd buy most things for $1. I don't know if that's indicative of.
It's not.
I don't know if that's indicative of high quality though. He says, "Thanks for all the nerdy times, NERDSMERIZED. Obviously, you're welcome. Thanks for all the troll questions. Appreciated. All right.
Support your local comic stores.
Always support, dude. There's an amazing comic book store not far from where we live. And I've been in there one time, and the one time I've been in there makes me want to go back because they also have a bunch of movies and games there. It's a pretty cool little spot. Okay.
Shout out to Seth's Games and Anime in Ventura.
Awesome. There you go. Plugged. There you go. All right. With the K review as, do you think the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League should really come out? And how could they have actually done something different with Superman in the original cut?
Yes.
Everyone hates Zack. Everyone likes to hate on Zack Snyder. I like Zack Snyder.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you say what you want to say here, but I thought not the Justice League, but Batman v Superman, the director's cut, I thought that was pretty good.
I haven't seen it. No comment.
No, there you go. Well, I have, and I did enjoy it as well. I mean, I really don't have as much of an issue with Batman v Superman like all these people did. I actually enjoyed it. Yes, there were some plot holes, and it could have been edited differently, and it would have made more sense, but it doesn't make it a bad film. But with this one, I mean, what he's saying, bringing out the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, I don't think it should be released. That's just appeasing people that just want to throw a tantrum. I don't think Joss Whedon changed it up that much. I mean, I know there was some reshoots here and there and relooks, and no, it wouldn't have changed Superman. They still had to digitally remove his freaking mustache because he had a contract to keep a mustache for another film.
I heard there was some major changes though, and I think maybe seeing the original vision might have been a good thing.
It could be, but I don't think it's really necessary to bring it out. Personally, I mean, that's just me.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I think the other thing is that I don't have the problem with Zack Snyder that a lot of other people have. Like, I appreciate his aesthetic. Like, Sucker Punch is actually one of my favorite underrated films, and that kind of aesthetic is his deal. The dark sky and all that shit that everybody complains about. But I like that, so I thought Batman v Superman was great. I haven't seen Dawn of Justice yet, but I need to.
I will say it's funny because I remember, I think, Jesse, you took me to see Batman v Superman on my birthday. So
yeah,
I've only seen it the one time on my birthday, but I thought it was good. Maybe it was just because the hype of going to see it do the movie, and it just had been so hyped up. But yeah, I think it got hated on maybe a little too much. There are obvious issues with it, but there was some really good stuff there from Zack Snyder in Batman v Superman.
I mean, that Batman scene where he runs through that warehouse or whatever to save Superman's mom. That shit's incredible.
Unbelievable. One of the best superhero scenes.
One of the most brutal Batman scenes. He bashes that guy's head through the crate and shit. It's incredible.
Oh yeah, no, it's great though. It's so well choreographed. It felt like watching The Room, or not The Room. I'm sorry.
The Raid.
Oh my god, not The Room.
The Raid.
The Raid. Thank you. Too many movies, too much thoughts. Hi, Mark. I want to see the Disaster Artist. It's on my list. Yeah, but it felt like The Raid. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So moving on. I don't want to mispronounce this name. Tevye Smolka.
Tevye Smolka.
Tevye Smolka has a couple questions for us, and the first one: what is your opinion on the Doomsday Clock as a whole, and do you think the story is going to be amazing or not?
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Doomsday Clock is the big story right now that's taking place in DC. Just a quick description of what it is. Batman finds because DC owns the Watchmen, okay? Separate universe. They were always a separate universe where Nixon was president 6 times. And yeah, so a separate universe and
Another Snyder flick.
Yeah, another great Snyder flick.
Yep.
But all around, basically, Dr. Manhattan zapped everyone in the DC universe and took away years of their lives, and that's where the New 52 in 2011 happened, and they rebooted everybody. That was all. It's now the new Doomsday Clock issue is really describing what's going to happen and who is going to stand up to Dr. Manhattan and make him pay for what he did to everyone in the DC universe, and rebooting people. People don't exist anymore. All kinds of crazy shit happens.
So complicated, man. Like, I can't imagine being the guy who has to manage where we're at the plot lines at DC company. Like, it's got to be such a ginormous pain in the ass to know how many times they've rebooted and what extended universe they're involved in. Like, God, that's got to be such a pain in the ass.
But
isn't that what happened with Dragon Ball Z? Is like the guy who created Dragon Ball Z got so sick of trying to keep up with the canon that he was just like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, I think so.
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, also, fun fact. Speaking of gaming, the guy who did the original art for Dragon Ball Z did the art for Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger, one of the best games of all time. Just throwing it out there.
Plugged.
Yes, thoroughly plugged.
But yeah, I mean, to answer your question, yes, I'm excited for it. I don't know who's going to be able to stand up to Dr. Manhattan. He would shred Superman to pieces. I don't care what anyone fucking says.
Yeah. All right. Oh, well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Next question from Tevya. What's the state of the Marvel Comics from 2017? Do you think Marvel Comics is going to be fixed by this year, or are they going to repeat the same mistakes from last year? Again, don't really know much about this, so I'm going to let Alex drop.
Well, revenue drops and everything happened. There was some story glitches here and there that weren't all that great. But all in all, Marvel Comics, I think, was a decent year. It wasn't the greatest, but I don't think they're going to do any worse. I think they're going to move forward. They know what they need to fix and move forward and see what lies in the future.
All right. No, so, yeah.
Well, they have like a dedicated audience, right? Like, their audience isn't growing, but it's not getting any smaller. So, like, whatever they're making now is going to be the same. And then they're trying to pick up new fans, but it's probably not going to happen very fast.
Plus, you got to also think going into the future, print's not going to be the most bought media for comics anymore. Everyone does digital stuff all the time now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Tevya's third question, we already kind of round up most of it, but kind of the tail end of it would be really good for you to answer, and that's what are your most anticipated comics for 2018?
Comics, I mean, I'm excited to see where the Doomsday Clock is going. I want to run into the aftermath after the Batman Metal event where all the evil versions of Batman from many universes came out. Marvel Comics wise, Logan's back, so we get some badass Wolverine action again. So I don't know. Everything looks good. I'm excited to see where both companies are going and everyone outside. I mean, Image Comics, all the other comic companies, they've all got a lot of stuff coming out, and I'm just really excited for the future.
Oh, actually, I do have some input on this. Destiny 2 just started doing its own canon comics. They released the first one with the recent DLC, and I thought the concept of doing like these little bits of Destiny story in comic book form was really great and is really well executed, and I'm curious to see how often and where they go with their comic book storylines. I think it's going to be a fantastic medium.
Destiny lore has got a lot of room for great stories.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, like, I'd like to do, I like to think about, like, where they could go with the story all the time because I'm so involved with the Destiny universe. I love it. And it's even something I would consider writing myself about it in, like, a non-canon story. And I think that there's just so much there they could bite off in the past and the future from the current state of the Destiny 2 story that I think comic books are going to be a fantastic medium for that. So, Destiny 2 comics, I think that's going to be pretty fantastic in 2018. So, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, her fourth question, and this is about Andrew's history videos about specific comic book characters. And Tevya is wondering if you would do one on Jonathan Samuel Kent, also known as Superboy, because they really love his character and his story.
Yeah, Superboy is, I definitely will do one on Jonathan Samuel Kent. It's actually like a childhood version of Superman's first actual real son, not a clone, so... Yeah, it's a cool character. I'm definitely willing to check it out, and that'd be awesome. I'll definitely do it, dude. Put it on the list.
Right. It is on the list. Alright, so we're wrapping up here. We only got a couple more questions. We got 3 more from Tevya. The first one is, with the upcoming Young Justice Season 3, first off, I've seen Young Justice Season 1 when it came out on Cartoon Network. It was pretty dope. So, the upcoming DC animated movies like Batman by Gaslight, Batman Ninja, and The Death of Superman animated movie. There's a bunch of anime movies coming out in 2019 and 18.
Yeah.
They're just wondering which DC animated movie or animated series you're looking forward to.
And now, this one's easy for me. Batman Ninja. We're getting a Batman story where Batman and the Joker are both samurais, and they're fighting each other as freaking samurais, man.
All right, interesting.
I've never been more excited for anything in my entire life.
Anime is truly taken over. They're everywhere.
Is literally everything I've ever wanted ever. I'm actually really hyped for this, to be honest. I thought the trailer was really cool. The art style is like super anime and like dark though, like with like a dark edge to it. I thought that shit looked dope, man. It was literally like Joker and Batman like fighting with samurai swords, and I was like, yes.
In full armor, dude, like full badass armor. It's so cool.
Oh, shit was so dope.
Dude, speaking of samurai, I wish I brought this up when we were talking about like favorite series or whatever, because when they did the reboot and the final season of Samurai Jack earlier this year,
Samurai Jack,
that shit was so fucking good. Oh my god.
Great concept.
It's such a great concept. I remember that shit from my childhood, and the fact that that show got canceled before it could finish was so unfortunate. And then they brought it back. There were so many great characters. Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob, has like one of the funniest characters to break up the mood. The pace is so well done. They have so much good fan service, but also I think you could watch this last season by itself without having watched the rest of the series and have a great idea of where the story's at and enjoy it in its own little like microcosm. And Samurai Jack final season, ooh, yes, I'm there. I had to rewatch it. It was that good. Alright, so we got 2 more questions. With the popularity of Super Sons, I'm just wondering if you would love for DC Animation to make a Super Sons animated movie or animated series featuring John and Damian. Because they would be super happy to finally have a Super Sons animated movie or series.
Yeah, I mean, the Super Sons, going back to Jonathan Samuel Kent, it teams up with Damian Wayne, Batman's son, who was trained by the League of Assassins, and he's ruthless as hell. And they team up. It's a pretty cool concept, and the comic's really fun and a lot of fun to read. But yeah, that'd be cool if it became a show.
All right, so the last question Teddy's got for us is, with 2017 gone and behind us, what do you think was better, Marvel Comics as a whole or the DC Rebirth as a whole?
Okay, DC Rebirth was pretty badass. If it's DC Rebirth, which is just this event that just happened a while back, but DC Rebirth changed everything. Marvel Comics did their shit and changed everything. I mean, they both rebooted everything, but all in all, DC Rebirth gets my vote.
All right. Cool. I actually need to get back into comics. Seems like things were really doing well there.
Crazy stuff.
We talked about this in the very beginning, or actually before we start recording. West Zostin asks, "Are you guys going to team up with Emergency Awesome?" And
I dream about it every night. Okay.
Yeah, hit me up though.
I do. Charlie, message my channel, bro. I will do whatever kind of video you want. Let's do this.
Normally when I'm out here, I'm like, don't add me on Twitter, dude, but add me on Twitter, dog. Let's go. Let's slide the DMs.
Normally, I don't like breakdown videos, but I think his breakdowns are like super like accurate. Like you never catch something that's like not correct, and I think he doesn't miss anything in any of those breakdowns. I really like watching.
Very, very professional, very laid out. Emergency Awesome is actually one of my favorite YouTube channels to watch personally myself.
All right, yeah, no, I would love to start doing collabs like with really anybody. Really, I think it would be really cool. I'm thinking about kind of coming off the back of the last interview I did with the Lawbreakers developer. I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm about ready to start reaching out to more developers and like other YouTubers even, because there's a lot of interesting people I would love to sit down and talk to. I think interviewing is going to be something that I really start getting into in 2018. And it's not exactly collabing, but it's something I definitely want to do. So I mean, we'll see what happens. Emergency Awesome, hit us up. All right. So the very final question, I'm actually super excited to tear into this one for the last question of this Q&A, and it's from Andy Wall. And it's, what is your favorite cinematic franchise that was adapted from a different genre, like books, games, or comics? I know what Jesse's is, and I already know what he's gonna say. But Jesse, go ahead.
You actually might be surprised by this one. Actually,
it's not Harry Potter.
It's not Harry Potter. It's a 1 and a 1A scenario. It's Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not surprised by that. I wasn't far
It's
off.
Lord of the Rings. Harry Potter's number 2. It's like a 1A situation. I think Harry Potter's great, but there's a couple of weak entries. Lord of the Rings is 3 super strong movies. I don't consider The Hobbit a part of Lord of the Rings because they're 2 separate franchises.
Right. Well, I guess that would be a good place to start, though, is how do you guys define a franchise? Is that more than 2 movies?
3 movies minimum.
2 movies
Yeah,
minimum?
3 movies minimum. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Andrew.
I would probably have to say, I mean, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter up there for me. But personally, I'm going to say, I mean, just a movie genre, the MCU. It's adapted from comics. I mean, Marvel has done amazing things with these films, and they were adapted from another genre and another medium, which is the printed comic.
Dude, that golden era between the first Iron Man and the first Avengers movies might be some of the best movies we've had in the last 20 years. And I'm pretty confident in saying that. At least in terms of like action, summer blockbuster style movies.
Oh, I agree completely. But at the same time, if you ask a lot of people, the Avengers and Iron Man were like the only 2 good movies in that first phase.
Oh, I think the first Captain America doesn't get enough credit for how good it is. I think the first Captain America is actually really enjoyable, really fun, and I think that his character has only gotten better with all the movies. And then the first Thor I thought was really good too. And
so did
obviously the Avengers is so great. The Avengers is fantastic.
Oh, the Avengers is hands down the best movie that Marvel's ever made. Iron Man being the close second.
Yeah, I think Iron Man 1 is a gem, dude. Robert Downey Jr. I will hands down. If Robert Downey Jr. is involved, I don't care if he's even just took a look at the script one time. If he's involved with that project, I'll probably watch it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying that Winter Soldier is not great, because it is, but it's just not as good as the Avengers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Avengers is just very well balanced, very well laid out. The story flows.
And the first time we ever saw superheroes teaming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. I mean, it's legendary. It's never going to be passed. But
100%.
Me personally, I mean, I really did not like Ultron, Age of Ultron.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was okay, but I was really pissed they killed off Quicksilver so fast. I mean, I was like, fuck Hawkeye. Sacrifice Jeremy Renner's bitch ass and give me freaking Quicksilver. Shoots an arrow or super speed. Who the fuck cares? Shoot the arrow guy.
IP issue though.
I know. God. It just makes me
I actually like the twins a lot. I thought Quicksilver and what's the other girl's name?
Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch. Yeah, I thought they were both great in that film.
So just something to add right there, since I had to bitch about that. With the upcoming Black Panther movie, Ulysses Claw, who's the side villain that Ultron cuts his hand off.
Yeah.
He's the main villain in Black Panther, and he puts on a big old vibranium psionic freaking blaster on his hand. And I just wanted to mention that.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, and that's Andy Serkis, right?
Yep.
I'm kind of glad that we get to see Andy Serkis and not mocap. It's gonna be cool.
I know, right?
I will say that at least for me, my favorite cinematic franchise, and it's kind of like this. It's the triple threat. It's kind of what everyone always chalks up as being fantastic movies, but they genuinely are. The Star Wars franchise, the Harry Potter franchise, and the Lord of the Rings franchise. I think that those are franchises that are just, they're so storied, they're so well executed, and they've had such reach for a very long time. Obviously, Harry Potter is the newest of those, but like Lord of the Rings, the trilogy, so good. So
started
fantastic.
At the same time, came out the same year. Sorcerer's Stone and Fellowship, same year.
That's
crazy.
Yeah, that's a crazy year. And dude, like me and Jesse both, like we grew up with Harry Potter, and Daniel Radcliffe's become, he's finally found a way to branch off. But all of those actors were so good. I mean, Alan Rickman, rest in peace, dog. He was so fantastic. Like one of the best character performances ever is Alan Rickman as Snape.
I love him as Snape, dude. I love him as Snape so much. Alan Rickman was the man, but he will never be beaten as he was as Metatron in the Dogma. Don't trip.
We're going Kevin Smith.
I am Metatron.
Yeah, I think I heard in the Kevin Smith audiobook, he talks about working with Alan Rickman and how he felt like Alan Rickman was just like too far above what he was doing and talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, those franchises, they're so iconic for a reason. It's because they've transcended their media and just into the public conscious. Like, everybody knows the John Williams score from Star Wars. Everybody knows. Everybody knows the iconic Hogwarts music from Harry Potter, and everybody knows just how damn good Lord of the Rings is. And I think it's just hard to deny that those three will always kind of be at the very top of what franchises can be, and I don't think anything will ever really come close, to be honest.
What about... Oh, okay. I got another one for you.
Okay.
Franchise adapted from a book. Let's talk Jurassic Park, Michael Crichton.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they kind of lost it.
Downhill.
You know.
Okay. I'm talking about the original, like, first two. Fuck the third one. Fuck Nas World. Let's talk about the first two.
All right. Jurassic Park's incredible.
And I love, that was one of my first, like, major novels I read back in the day, was Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park.
Can we just call it a franchise of all of the the first movie in every single great Spielberg series as a franchise in its own?
Let's just call it the Spielberg franchise.
Yeah, the Spielberg franchise. Yep.
Have you seen the trailer for the new Jurassic Park? I guess Lost World 2, I guess, or
Lost Kingdom.
Lost Kingdom, yeah, and then it has that
Fallen
famous
Kingdom,
line or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like Life Finds a Way. I thought that was dope.
Yeah, because they're bringing back Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum, there he is.
And I'm super pumped on that. But my only problem with the new Jurassic World movie, and was my only real problem with Jurassic World, was Chris Pratt and what's her name? Why can't I? She's on the tip of my tongue. The redhead. Okay.
Fuck. Could have told
Yeah.
Chastain.
Yeah, but
Jessica Chastain.
No. Jurassic World. Sorry, but those two, they have no chemistry. Like, I don't feel anything between them. No, not Julianne Moore. That was from the original series, Jurassic World. Is Bryce Dallas Howard.
I'm watching. I got the Lost World right here.
Yeah, no, but it's not Lost World. It's Jurassic World. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
God, dude, why can't they differentiate the titles and ever? Jurassic World: Lost World Kingdom 2.5. Like, god damn it, dude.
Bryce Dallas Howard. Yeah, see, her and Chris Pratt, they have no chemistry. Like, that just makes their characters like shrug on with each other. It's ridiculous sometimes.
Look, I love Chris Pratt as much as an actor, but if he's not in Guardians of the Galaxy or playing first base in Moneyball, I really don't give a fuck.
Dude, Moneyball, fucking love it.
Moneyball.
Okay, I guess this is like a little cliff note for a cinematic franchise. This one ranks pretty high for me. I loved all of the Planet of the Apes movies they've done over the last couple of years. I think War of the Planet of the Apes. I thought War of the Planet of the Apes was actually genuinely fantastic. I really
one thing to say about War for the Planet of the Apes. That's like the biggest clickbait title ever, because there is no war in War for the Planet of the Apes.
Well, it's the humans against the apes, dog. That is a war.
What do you mean? There's no war. There is no fighting. There is, like, we get captured, we escape, movie's over.
Hey, that set piece at the very end is fantastic, though.
I agree. I'm not saying it's not a good movie.
Hey, dude, Woody Harrelson?
They finessed us with that fucking
clickbait.
Yeah. They clickbait us, man. Straight up Logan Paul confirmed directed War.
I love me some Woody Harrelson, though. White Man Can't Jump Stands is one of my favorites.
Hell yeah.
Woody Harrelson, I thought, he just killed all of these Planet of the Apes movies, especially War for the Planet of the Apes. I think that he just had it so fantastically, and I don't want to spoil it because I think you guys should give this movie a try, even if you didn't really like the other two, because I think it, as its own War for the Planet of the Apes, is pretty great, and Woody Harrelson kills it.
That first one was really good.
First one was very good.
Yeah. James Franco?
Yeah, James Franco kills it.
He was so good. That was like the last time he had a good performance. Awesome.
Wasn't Bryan Cranston in the first Planet of the Apes?
Oh, I don't know.
Misremembering that.
It's that fucking
Third Rock from the Sun dude. What's his name?
I'll never remember his name.
I'll remember. Maybe I'm just misremembering Bryan Cranston or something else. But something about Bryan Cranston and they kill his wife. No. All right, we're going too deep at this point. So I mean, that's all the questions. Yeah, that's all the questions we got. I mean, not really much else to add here. This has been fantastic for the first ever NERDSMERIZED Q&A. And if you guys would like to see more of this content, we would like to kind of launch this as our new podcast as well. We'll do more Q&As in the future, obviously. Let us know what you think about this in the comments down below. Do you want to see this go live stream, or do you want to see edited and uploaded? We're open to whatever, and we don't know how consistently we're going to do this podcast, but we want to definitely make it a thing. And it was fantastic to hear all the questions from you guys. 2017 was a really great year, and we're so excited to get into 2018 and make NERDSMERIZED even better. And that's really all I got to say about that. You guys have any closing thoughts?
No, I really enjoyed it. Thanks for all the questions, guys.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, there was a lot of great questions, guys. Thanks for sending them in. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself listening.
Yeah, 100%. So make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe for more awesome content. Follow us all on Twitter in the description down below. We also have a Patreon. Still kind of getting all the details fleshed out there, but the Patreon is there if you want to support what we do. Other than that, guys, my name is Jack. You have been listening to me, Andrew, and Jesse kind of just ramble on for about an hour and 15 minutes at this point. And we will see you guys in the very next video.
Later.
Yo.